have a one voice. Hand in hand you can lay the tracks, because the train is coming to carry you home. Come dance with me. Come on and dance into the light.
Dance into the light. That's Phil Collins right here on Dan Radio Style. Hope everybody out there's having themselves a great day. Sometimes we are challenged for a reason. I think. I don't know. You know, here's the time to turn off if you don't care about any of this stuff that may make your life slightly easier to navigate. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But again, there's going to be times where we're challenged. The question a lot of times is why? What is it that I'm missing? What is it? And this is what I do. This is how I navigate these waters personally, right? Because I don't have any question that the process works, right? Like if I know that if I do this and then do this, I should get this outcome. If for some reason that outcome doesn't happen, I check into it. Give a couple examples. I flip on the light switch, the light doesn't turn on. Do I assume that the whole concept of electricity doesn't work? Do I assume that the concept of flipping a switch, completing the circuit, causing electricity to flow, that this whole idea no longer works? Do I assume that I've been attacked by a weapon and they've done an EMP attack and no electronics are working? Wait, hang on, my computer's on. Oh, shoot, that doesn't work. No, I don't. I figure, I wonder if the light bulb's gone out. I do still use some of those standard light bulbs. It's a fader. It's hard to find a good bulb, by the way, that works with a fader. Anyway, total different topic for another day. I know they're out there. Mr. Handyman will probably comment in and say, hey, no, try these. And if you have a good advice for good fader versions of light bulbs, maybe it's I don't know, whatever. Off topic. So a lot of us, we question whether something works because the action doesn't occur as quickly or the way I expect it. Doesn't mean the process doesn't work. Doesn't mean the whole concept doesn't work. You got a strand of Christmas lights and you have one bad light. In many cases, that'll blow out the entire chain. So it's not that the concept of plugging that in doesn't work. It's not that Christmas isn't going to happen. No. Probably got a bad bulb someplace. Maybe one's not plugged in. Right? The circuit's been broken somewhere. We need to identify where and plug it in. So if something's not occurring, if you're not seeing what you're trying to manifest, it's not that manifestation doesn't work. It's not that law of attraction doesn't work. It's not that what you are emanating out is what comes back doesn't work. There's something else going on. I personally see this as a positive. I don't look at this and go, oh, this is the worst thing that's ever happened. No, because what it's doing and what it's done is allowed me to learn and grow. There's some people that seem kind of fond of some of the junk I say, right? I've gotten to this point because of these types of situations. Life has not just been easy every single step of the way for me. In fact, quite the opposite. I've just learned to enjoy the growth, which many would call struggle. I see struggle as growth. I see it differently than a lot of people tend to. I see a closed door as, okay, there's another way, or there's a window open or something. I don't see it as a block. I see it as all right, that's probably not the way I should go. I see it as the universe showing me where not to go. It's a different way of looking at things, but when you start to realize, all this stuff works, and I can't do this right now, why? And that's the question I want a lot of us to really get better at asking. Not, this doesn't work, to this does work. For some reason, I'm having an issue here. Let's investigate. Let's look at it. Let's look to see what there is here for me to grow from, learn from, become better at. So at the time, you kind of got to look at what the issue is, right? Is it an issue with, say, a specific person? A lot of people out there are trying to get somebody back in their life, right? So I'm having some level of not lack of success. I've truly been happier in general lately. I've been staying focused on stuff I like. I'm loving myself, right? I've started yoga and, I'm starting to look better. I've actually lost 12 pounds, right? Whatever, right? All these things, doing all these things in the right direction, yet we're still not back together. Well, let's look at why. Let's look into it. Is there a place where, again, where I just said we're still not back together? Is it one of those things where we keep noticing that we're still not back together? Is it one of those things where maybe every time you think of them, you kind of get frustrated, or maybe there's something that we still haven't forgiven them for, or maybe there's something we haven't forgiven ourselves for, some sort of place where we've wronged them, and maybe they're mad at us, or at least we perceive them to be mad at us. And so maybe we're having a hard time letting go of that. Maybe we're just like, I screwed up, and they'll never forgive me. But I keep doing the meditations. I keep doing the affirmations. I keep loving myself. I've got a great hobby. I'm losing weight. I'm doing yoga. Yeah, you can be doing everything perfect, except this one little thing, that one little light bulb that needs to be pushed down in that Christmas tree chain, right? Or that light bulb in the thing above, the ceiling, or the lamp needs to be swapped out, maybe even tested to see if it's even screwed in. You ever had a light bulb just magically require screwing in and suddenly it works? You're like, how'd you unscrew yourself? That seems impossible to me. That from all levels of rational thought seems absolutely impossible that every time I turn on and turn off and turn on and turn off a light switch that it is slowly spinning itself off inside the socket. I don't think that's how that's playing out. Don't know. I mean, it's always tripped me out. Somehow, magically. I mean, when I screw in a light bulb, I don't know about you guys, I go until it's like stops, pretty much. I don't just like reef on it, but it stopped. Okay, it's in. So how do you get to the point where you're so unloosed? Anyways, again, I think it works as a great example. It's not that you're doing something wrong per se. It's that we're probably not noticing an aspect of this that we need to pay attention to, that we need to evolve our thoughts and feelings about it. We need to look at it. There's something there that we're putting a blocker in front. There's some place where we're pulling the handbrake up. Again, it's not that it doesn't work. If it's not happening quickly, or if you're not really seeing the signs and symbols and indications that things are going, how's your feelings? Are you grumpy and angry frequently? Are you super sorrowful and depressed a lot? Okay, bad feelings. These aren't helping. Handbrakes, right? Are you constantly thinking you've done something that can't be forgiven? Handbrake. Are you constantly thinking I'm not smart enough for that job? Handbrake. Am I constantly thinking, it's too far away? Handbrake. Am I constantly thinking, I'm too old? Handbrake. If there's some place where this thought pops into your head every once in a while, I did a video not long ago called Pay Attention to the Thinker. I think it was an Eckhart Tolle thing, right? Pay attention to the thinker. What are those thoughts that keep popping up? That's your indicator. That's your secret. That's bam. Like when it happens, put a big star around it. Like, oh, yay, yay. I freaking finally know. I know what it is that's been holding me back. Are we holding anger someplace? Is there a thought that pops in your head and you're like, argh, right? Like immediately. Argh. First off, a lot of frowns going on. A lot of wrinkle potentiality there, right? I don't worry about wrinkles too much. I probably should more than I do, right? Because I do a lot of crazy facial expressions. Someone just commented on that in one of the videos. Like, I don't know if you realize all the little ticks. I know I'm expressive. I don't necessarily know what I'm expressing sometimes, but I certainly know things are happening on my face. That might indicate what's going on inside this knucklehead of mine. So, how do we want things to be? This is the focus we should have. Focus on where you'd like to go. Focus on what you want to have. Focus on what you desire. And then if things are occurring, pay attention. Stuff's popping up. I promise you, stuff's popping up. If you think there's nothing popping up, you're not paying enough attention. That's part of your growth right there. Pay more attention. Be very mindful of what you're thinking, saying, and doing. This is how we manifest. How we're feeling about it is what we're attracting. Okay? Think, say, do puts out the thought to the universe. This is what I want. Attracting is about how I feel. So universe is like, yeah, I know what you want, but right now you're vibrating at a very not that. Right? So I'm going to give you what you're vibrating at because that's what you need to figure out. And once you figure it out and get your vibration fixed accordingly, right? Once you get that alignment on your car fixed, right? When it's always pulling left or always pulling right, you're like, or backwards because I'm on camera. Either way, you get your alignment fixed and all of a sudden you take your hands off the wheel and you just crash into things like any normal person, but you did it going straight, perfectly straight. Let's try to see what's causing that alignment drift. What is it? There's something, I assure you. There's no question, at least in my mind, about how we attract and create. It's not that it's law of attraction per se. Law of attraction is discussing what happens in the universe with how we attract and manifest. Law of attraction is not a thing that was invented. It's a thing that was meant to describe the laws of reality. That's all this is. There's a number of laws. I've done a video way on it. It's like 12 laws or something crazy like that. There's a bunch of different laws. Law of attraction is part of it. They kind of all play together. But needless to say, law of attraction, the huge component of it, really does get into this. There's always that other aspect to keep in mind too. Am I worthy, right? Because that's the other side of this that I think a lot of us will question sometimes. And you need to look at that. Again, you could be doing all the right things. But if you have those moments where you don't think you're good enough or worthy of this, where I don't think I'm deserving because of some error I've made in the past, well, forgive the error. Look up videos of mine. It's called Astral Letters. Search for that in my channel. It's a great way you can do forgiveness to yourself and others and erase these experiences. Erase them from the sense of karma. They still happened. It doesn't remove them from people's memories. But what it does is it removes the karmic debt that we might have created. And in doing that, it puts us back on an even field. Yeah, we made mistakes. Well, I've made lots of mistakes. Believe me, I've forgiven myself for plenty, lots of them. And from there, I've managed to grow and evolve and get to really cool things. And I've got a long way to go, at least best I hope, right? So keep at it, keep going, and look to see what it is. What is it that I'm missing? What is it that must be happening in the background? Some little beeping noise that I'm not paying attention to. A little beep. What the beep? I think I'm beep. I think I'm beep. What? What is that freaking noise? Look at it. Find it. Maybe you need to put a battery in your smoke alarm, right? Find it. Find that thing that keeps making that freaky noise just randomly out of nowhere. And when you do, you will be amazed at the distance and direction and difference that you will start to see in your life and in your manifestations. It's amazing how it works out. Going out with an amazing song by an old-time band called War. You guys have totally heard the song. It's been in so many movies, I can't even say. It's called Why Can't We Be Friends? It's right here on Dan RadioStyle. By the way, we can totally be friends.
I've seen you around.